Goodbye to the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, the voice of your Guelph Storm on Rogers TV, and I'm very pleased to be joined by a guy that Storm Nation is very familiar with in his third season here in Guelph, Mr. Rylan Singh. Singer, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it's good to have you back on. And look, there's two things that we need to address right away here, okay? And I think you know what they are. First things first, how you feel, and let everybody know how things are going after the surgery.
Yeah, things are going good. Surgery went really smooth. Nothing to complain about there. Now I'm just in my recovery phase. Obviously, there's not much I can do in terms of speeding up the recovery process. The wounds just kind of need to heal. But it's going well, and I'm working out when I can, very lightly, but I'm doing that and skating when I can as well.
What's the recovery process like? What's the prognosis for you? What are they kind of telling you about when you could maybe hit the ice again?
Yeah, so I actually hit the ice yesterday for the first time, just skates and in the sticks and the gloves, but no equipment yet. But I'm just kind of skating around out there, not really shooting or passing, but just by myself, just getting my feet back under me. So I'm actually on the ice, but in terms of like actual contact practices and getting back into the swing of things, I think it'll be about another week or so.
Okay, well, that's positive because the Guelph Storm are going to the playoffs. I know you're happy about that. You watched your teammates clinch a playoff spot the other night, and I
Yeah.
know you're excited about that. And they'll be welcoming you back with open arms to get out there and play in the playoffs for the first time in a couple years. Now, there's something else I want to address with you. I want to give you the floor here because
Yeah.
a few weeks back we had your billet brother Will McFadden on here, and we were
Yeah.
having a very cordial conversation on here. And I asked him when the guys maybe get the Chell going, play EA Sports NHL, is there a teammate that's poke check guy? And he claims that's you. I would like
Yeah.
to open the floor up to you to defend yourself.
Yeah, so that's actually not the case. I was actually sitting beside Will when he was doing the podcast. Like I wasn't on camera, but I was there. So I think that he just said that to be a funny guy, but that's not the case. And I think if we ever did that Chell tourney, I think if me and Will matched up, I'd be pretty happy about it because it would be an easy win for me. So
Well, okay, I like this. He's not there with you now, is he?
no, he's not, but he's in the room
Okay.
beside me. So maybe if he hears me,
Okay.
he'll come over. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. And I was real excited to get you on because he sewered you, brother. He threw you right under the bus.
Oh, I know. I heard it. I was there. So, but no, I'm glad you gave me the chance to defend myself. But yeah.
Well, it's only right. I mean, and in retaliation, you believe that you would crush him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we play all the time. We're Billet brothers, so I mean, yeah, I think I would.
Would you give me a percentage on the amount of wins you get of the games you play? Like, what are we talking here? 70, 80%?
I mean, it's pretty, he is a good player. It is pretty close, but I'd go about 60-40 me, but I think, when the pressure's on, I think I'll rise to the occasion and I don't think he will, so.
I love it, dude. I love it. I need to ask you then, in all seriousness, is he actually poke check guy?
No, no, I'm not gonna defame him here or say anything that he's not. But he's not a poke check guy, but overall just better child player. I think I got him.
What is missing from his game? What separates you from him when the controllers come out?
It's just grit. It's just pure grit. He's got none of it, and I think I got it. I
I
get punched
love
to the
it.
net. I grind and grind in front of the net. So I think he needs a little more of that in his game, and I think I got it. So that's where I got him right now.
Okay, I love it. I was excited to hear your kind of rebuttal to
Yeah.
his accusation. I want to ask you then, is there a guy on the team that's poke check guy? Because I got buddies. We all have that friend that just hits R1 over and over again and
For
takes
sure.
20 tripping penalties. Is there a guy that's poke check guy?
I don't, not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think all the boys are actually pretty good, but no, I can't really think of a guy that's just spamming R1 there.
Okay, so you're being a good teammate here.
Yeah,
You don't want to throw anybody under the bus like Will did to
exactly.
you. A little classier operation on this side of the billet house, I see.
For sure.
Okay, I understand. Well, I want to ask you, obviously you've been out, because of the surgery for a little bit here. Sounds like you're going to be able to come back soon, which is great. How do you feel the season's gone overall for yourself? Because it's had a bunch of different highlights for you that I want to dig into, but overall, it's your third season. You're a veteran on the team now. How's things been going for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think this year's been really good. I think I've taken a lot of steps in my personal game. Playing a lot more physical and defending a lot better this year while keeping my offensive game up. But I think yeah, obviously it's been an exciting year in my draft year. A lot of highlights that I'll look back on one day and be proud of. But it's just been a great year. Obviously, my third year in the league, so. Been one of the most fun years for sure. So I'm very happy about how this year's gone so far. Obviously, the surgery is not ideal, but there's not much you can do with that. So it's all good on that front.
And despite the surgery, you set a new career high in goals, and I think you'll smash through that next year too, and in what should be a very exciting year around the Storm. But I mentioned earlier, obviously, I know you would have preferred to have been on the ice, but you got to watch your teammates book a playoff spot, and I know everybody was disappointed with the way last year went. You guys didn't miss by very much. Now you guys know you're going. You're going to be in the dance. How exciting was that to see the boys clinch that and know that you guys are going to be going to the playoffs?
So exciting. Like you said, obviously last year, missing playoffs sucks, and being home early is brutal. But once you get to playoffs, you can play a style like you're checking bodies, and playoffs is another beast. So you never know what can happen there. So we just want to get there, and we can prove ourselves when we get there.
Obviously, when you miss the playoffs, there is a silver lining to everything, and that silver lining came in the form of having the second overall pick. And Yako Wysick, I mean, you have a very different view of him than a lot of us, where you get to practice with this kid all the time. And, you remember, I certainly remember when you were a rookie in the league and he comes in as a forward. I wonder, from your perspective as a defender, getting to go up against him in practice all the time, what's his development been like in terms of watching him, and what makes him a hard guy to defend in practice?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's really elusive. That's what I'd say about Yakko. I mean, when at the start of the year, like when you're a younger guy, maybe you don't use your body as well, or you get checked easier. But for trying to defend him in practice, he's really elusive. He uses his fakes really well, and he's able to find ice. And then his hands are really good as well. I think that's what separates him. He's able to find little pockets, slip under sticks, and I think he's been great this year. And I can't wait to see what he does next year as well.
For yourself as a defender, they always say that going up levels is hardest for defensemen because the speed picks up, of course, especially when you jump to pro eventually. And defending is such a fine art. For you now in your third year, what sort of things have you tried to kind of work on incrementally in your game? Because as a defender, you've improved in leaps and bounds, especially this year. What kind of things were you kind of picking out from watching tape of yourself and practicing every day over the last couple of years that you worked on to kind of get yourself to another level?
Yeah, for sure. Just the physicality part, ending plays early in the corners. I can do a lot of stick work, and I think I have a pretty good stick, but I think, just getting in there and hitting, pinning guys, and just adding that, kind of mean streak to my game this year. I think I did a pretty good job of that. Not letting it be easy. No forwards are going to stand in front of the net. If you're going to stand there, you got to pay a price. So I think just adding that aspect to my game really helped me defending wise. And, you want to have as many threats as you can. So if you're a prick to play against, I think that'll only help you in the end.
I love that, man. I love it. And that was one thing that I wanted to ask you about, and that Mark and I have noticed a lot from up in the booth is your stick. And as a defender, it's such an important part of your game and a big part of using your stick. I mean, you can't just go out there and fling it around. It's reading the play. So talk to me a little bit about what that's like in terms of developing that skill, because your stick work this year has gone so far above and beyond when you were a rookie. Like, your ability to read the play and break things up with your stick is really, really impressive. How do you work on that?
Yeah, Working on it's kind of tough to work on it, I'd say, but for me, I think it's all in the timing and in just reading the play, like knowing knowing what's going to happen before the forward even knows what's going to happen. I think is huge for me. Like if I can read the defenseman's going to pass it here, I can already have my stick there, and it's already breaking it up when the forward gets it. So I think for me, it's a lot of timing. And then also being patient, letting the forward make the first move, and then I'm not just flailing my stick around like you said. I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected, and I can just make the jabs when I need to. And I think being patient is another big part of it.
See, watching you out there with your stick, this is why I had immediate doubt that you're poke check guy on Chell. I just knew that couldn't be true. So
Yeah, exactly. You got to know the timing. I know the timing, so it couldn't be me.
this makes plenty of sense. Do you think though, because right when you walked into the league, it was pretty evident your offensive skill. And that's a big thing with modern day defensemen. You got to be able to play on both sides of the puck. And you were able to do that really early in your career. It was pretty evident with your skating ability. And one thing that's always stuck out about you is your passing. Do you think that your ability to read the game from an offensive point of view helps elevate your defensive capabilities because you kind of know what good passes look like?
Absolutely, yeah, I think so for sure. I mean, it's definitely helps, I'd say. But yeah, like knowing what the defender's thinking or sorry, what the offensive guy is thinking definitely helps when I'm defending, I'd say for sure.
In terms of working on your game, you've got a longtime NHLer, a former NHLer in assistant coach Rob Davidson, works with the defenders primarily and helps you guys out. And having a guy like that around, obviously, it's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he played the game for a long time. He was kind of that rugged, hard-nosed defender. His game was a little different than yours. I don't think his stick was quite as good as yours. He might kill me for saying that, but I mean, he did score a goal from behind his own goal
Oh,
line.
I
But
know. Yeah.
I'm curious, like for yourself, as a young kind of two-way defender, what it's like working with a guy like that, and how you feel he helps you elevate your game.
Yeah, for sure. I think Davey's been awesome this year, and last year, but he's been great. I mean, I think the defensive side is where I had to work, make the most improvements this summer. And I skated with him in the summer, and he helped me a ton, just sharing his insights on the defensive side. And like I said earlier, being a prick to play against, that's something that me and him talk about, and boxing out, and X checking, not letting forward just get an easy way to the net. It's not going to happen. So Davies helped me instrumentally, I'd say, on the defensive side for sure.
I'm curious as well. You play with everybody a little bit in different situations, and we've even seen some guys like your Billet brother jump back on the blue line. I want to get your take on that in a second, but
Yeah.
primarily this year, when you've been on the ice and been healthy, you've formed a pretty interesting pairing with Grant Spada, and I'm curious from your perspective, kind of as the more run and gun, jump up in the play guy, what it's like and why you guys have become such an effective pair, you and Spades.
Yeah, I love playing with Spades. I think he's a great teammate on and off the ice. He's a great guy, and I think we're effective because we have the skills that play off each other. But I think he hits me. He lets me kind of do my thing, offensively, and not to say that he's not offensive because as of late he's been jumping up in the rush, getting some points, getting some goals. So he's been great that way too. But I think we play off each other really well. And I think a huge part of it is we kill plays early, right? So if you're not playing defense, you're on offense, and I think that's huge with me and Spades. I think we kill plays really early and we try to transition fast. So I think that's been a huge thing for us this year, and I think that's why it's been working out so well.
So there's a period during this year where, due to some injuries, we saw Will McFadden slide back onto the point. And as a defender, a career defender, I'd love your scouting report on what he was up to back there. We were pretty impressed. He hit a hot streak and started piling points. And he's getting a point every night, it felt like. From
Yeah.
your perspective as a defender, and were you helping him out maybe a little bit? Like, what did you see out of your good buddy Will?
Yeah, I saw a lot of shiftiness. I think offensively he was great. I mean, it was fun to watch, and yeah, I think seeing him pick up the puck and kind of skate through everyone it was pretty cool to watch. And yeah, the thing probably saw the most was just his shiftiness, just beating four checkers, and he was really elusive, so it was really fun to watch.
You mentioned earlier, obviously, it's your draft year. You're a ranked skater among North American skaters, and a big part of your draft year, anybody's draft year, is obviously the top prospects game, and you got to be a part of that. And not only did you get to go and have an unbelievable performance, you got to go with your two teammates in Zach Jovanovski and, of course, Lane Gallagher. First of all, what was it like to get invited? And then what was it like to go and experience it with two teammates and have the performance that you did?
Yeah, it was awesome to get invited. Obviously, that's something that you kind of circle at the start of the year, and you say, you want to be there. So, it was really awesome to be invited. I'm super grateful for it, and then to be there with Jolo and Gally, it was awesome. Obviously, two familiar faces there, and you can kind of get nervous at some of those events, but when you're with those guys and you're having fun, it calms the nerves a little bit. And then I was rooming with Jolo as well, so it was nice to have a familiar face there in the room. And then to have the game I did, I think it was pretty sweet. Obviously, you want to put your best foot forward, and you want to rise to the occasion. So it was pretty sweet to play the way that I did, and I just hope it helps me. So no, it was really fun though.
I certainly think it will. Pretty nice goal. Pretty nice
Yeah,
goal.
I
It
appreciate
was
it.
a
Yeah,
good one. We love a snipe from the point, and so do the scouts. So I
yeah,
think you did yourself some favors there. You mentioned obviously rooming with Jova while you were there, and he's a guy that has certainly risen his draft profile this year as well. He's, as a matter of fact, he's the top ranked OHL draft eligible goaltender, and I think we both kind of know why. The evidence speaks for itself. He came in last year as a kid out of air that just grabbed the ball and ran with it. And he's done it even more so this year, as a shooter and a guy that's got some offense in his game. What is it about the way that he's playing in net that makes him so effective?
yeah, for sure. He's been awesome this year. It's really nice having him in the pipes. You kind of have a sense of calmness when Jovo's back there, but he what makes him Jovo, I'd say, is his calmness and his he's positionally sound. You never really catch him like too far out of position, and he makes the easy save. He makes the job look really easy, and it's not an easy job, but he's so positionally sound that he doesn't have to be sliding around everywhere, and he makes it look really easy.
In terms of playing defense in front of a guy like that, how much better does that make the situation for yourself, especially in a situation maybe where it's an odd man rush or you're killing a penalty? When a guy back there is so calm, he's also pretty talkative. Like we can hear him yelling sometimes up in the booth. Like how much does that kind of make it a little bit easier for you and Spades or whoever you're out there with to defend certain situations with him back there?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it makes it a lot better, and it's always good when you can be calm because you got Jovo in between the pipes, Jovo or Elsie, but obviously Jovo. But yeah, and him being talkative and him getting out and playing the puck as much as he can, that really helps us out. It makes the game a lot faster, makes it so much easier to transition. So his communication and his puck playing this year has been really good and helped us for sure.
We've already established, it's well established on the show that the locker room, there's a lot of country music going on. It's a big country room. You guys got a lot of and I know you mix in different stuff pre-game and when it's game time, but a lot of country fans in the room. Well, I ran into your parents on the concourse last year, and I was having a chat with your old man, and he was like, I agree. I don't know where all the metal music went because, as he informed me, when he was growing up, it was all about the Metallica and the Pantera and all, stuff that I grew up on.
Yeah.
Is he maybe trying to get you to mix some of that in there? Or are you like, Dad, I have no time for that? What's your take? Because he told me that he's a big metal guy.
Yeah, he is, but he's not trying to get me to mix it in there, but I'm kind of good with whatever the boys play, so I'm fine with that. But obviously for me, I mean, he kind of brought me up on the Beatles and the Eagles and Oasis, so I enjoy those bands and yeah, so I love listening to their music, obviously. and Fadsy knows, and it's not always country. I mean, Searles is on Ox. Searles plays a lot of Oasis and Eagles. So me and him always jam out to that. So it's not all country in there, but I do enjoy country as well. But there's obviously I enjoy kind of everything, to be honest. So yeah, it's good.
Okay, so you're blowing my mind a little bit here. Okay, I'm not. First of all, I'm not surprised that Searles is running out because his dad's a Canadian rock legend. Okay,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Joey Serlin. So I'm not surprised with that. But I got to tell you, man, Oasis is my favorite band of all time. I have
Yeah.
multiple tattoos, so
Oh,
I got multiple tattoos. I went and saw them this summer. Do you have like a top three, maybe even just a favorite Oasis tune? And I will judge you.
okay. Top three, I'd probably say Stand By Me, Champagne Supernova, and then obviously I think you gotta go to Wonderwall. I think it's just a great song. So yeah, those would probably be my top three.
Wonderwall's a good one. I will judge you a little bit for having it one, but
No, no,
it's an
not one. Sorry, those were in any
okay.
order. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
no order. Okay, that's good. We all love Wonderwall, all right,
Yeah.
but it's a little overplayed. I got it. I'll give you major props for the Stand By Me because that's a B side. That's an Oasis B side. So
Yeah.
I'm loving the Stand By Me love. All right, that's
Yeah.
good stuff. I love that. I love that there's some Oasis love here. Now I got somewhere to go when I
Yeah.
get Searles back on here. Okay,
Oh
this is
yeah.
good
You gotta
stuff.
ask him about it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I love it, dude. That's great stuff. I want to ask you too, just about obviously the big news this year in the city is that the Memorial Cup is coming to town next year, and you and your teammates are all out there on the ice when Dan Paye wheeled out there with the Kubota tractor and all that stuff. And I had to laugh to myself and Corey like, nobody touch it, no, don't touch the. But when you guys found that out, like what a moment for all you guys, obviously, the Memorial Cup, it's the pinnacle of junior hockey. When you found that out, what's going through your mind?
I mean, a lot, obviously. It's pretty surreal, to be honest. Like, having a while to think about it now, it's gonna be awesome. And what's going through my mind is let's win this thing. Just, that's pretty much it. Put in a good year this year. Obviously not writing this year off, but obviously do as well as we can this year, have a great summer, and then, next year's go time. So
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I can't wait. It's going to be unbelievable. When it got announced, there's, like anything in life these days, there's some naysayers around it. Sell those people. Why is Guelph the right place to bring the Memorial Cup? What's special about the Royal City? You would know. You've been here 3 years now. Why is Guelph a deserving host for the Memorial Cup?
I'd say the fans and the atmosphere. I mean, every night it's almost a sold out building. It's the best atmosphere. I love playing in it. I mean, it's my favorite rink. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but the Londons and the Kitcheners are nice, but there's nothing like playing in Guelph. I love the Sleeman and I love the fans, and I mean, the fans and the atmosphere are definitely a great reason to have the Memorial Cup here.
The concourse popcorn's pretty good too.
I wouldn't know about that, but yeah, I'm sure it is.
Some of your teammates know about it. I won't say who it is because I don't want to sue or anybody on here, but I ran into a guy who, is coming back from injury as well. And the first thing he said to me when I saw him on the concourse was, I got to find some popcorn. The lines are unbelievable. So I think maybe, after a win, maybe you guys all run up and they'll save you some popcorn or something. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
I'm curious as well, just for yourself, obviously a big year coming up next year, but this year, draft year, like when you went into this season, it's hard not to think about that. It's your draft year. It's a big, big moment in any young hockey player's career. Were there any goals that you kind of set for yourself, outside of just saying, improve my game overall? Were there any specific goals going into this year where you're like, I would love to improve this particular skill, get better at this particular thing? Was there anything that you kind of set aside for yourself as a goal?
Yeah, for sure. I think just playing an all-around game. I think obviously last year I think I showed my offensive skill and what I can do offensively, but there's some knocks on me defensively and physically. But I think going into this year, I really wanted to show, what I can defend with the best of them and I can play physical and I can be a mean presence on the ice. So I think just defensively rounding out that part of my game was a huge focus for me this year, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that so far.
How do you kind of, stay grounded with all the draft noise? Obviously, like, it's something that guys talk about. I don't think about it, I ignore it, but it's a hard thing to ignore. How
For
do you
sure.
kind of stay grounded and set on the task at hand, the next game, the next shift, gearing up for the playoffs now? How do you kind of keep yourself focused and with the goal in mind at hand?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously it's tough. It's always kind of weighing in your mind, but uh yeah, it's tough. You obviously gotta just focus on what you're doing day by day. Obviously, we play a lot of games, we play a lot of hockey that sometimes you just forget. So so that's pretty nice. Being injured a little bit, obviously it's weighing on my mind a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and you're not defined by, your draft status or even if you get drafted at all. So there's a lot of hockey to be played, obviously, with the NCAA rules now opening up. You have 4 more years of a junior career, so a lot of time, a lot of things can happen. So it's not too much of a worry for me.
Absolutely. That's well said and a good perspective to have for sure. I'm curious quickly too, just, obviously hockey, it takes up so much of your time, so much of your year, so much of your headspace. What's something that you maybe like to do away from the rink to like get away from hockey? Do you kind of try and indulge in other sports? Like, what do you like to do to kind of get away from the game, as they say?
Yeah, to get away from the game, obviously when the weather's nice, we love to golf here. That's usually at the start of the year when we have a little bit more time. But anything with the boys, I think is getting away. Whether it's going to a restaurant or just hanging out with my billet brother. Anything with the boys helps me get away from the game. So just hanging with them and just having fun, I'd say, just being a kid.
Okay, well, I got to ask you now, the golf.
Yeah.
What's your game looking like? Like, what are we talking here? What's your handicap?
Yeah, I don't have a handicap, but I'd say I'm anywhere from, high 80s to low 90s. I don't want to say I'm better than I am, but yeah, like on a good day I'd say I'm in around 87, and on a bad day I'd be at like a 90, 92, 93. So but hopefully we have a lot of good days this summer.
Absolutely, and when the golf tournament coming up too, I'll be interested to see. I want to look at some of the scorecards. I want to inspect and see where guys are at. Is there a club in particular where you get that club in your hand? And you're like, this is my club.
Yeah, my hybrid, my four
Okay.
hybrid. Yeah, I love hitting it. Uh but yeah, I'd say that's probably my club.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get a scouting report in at the golf tournament this year. I wanna see what everybody's up to out there. Okay. I'm gonna ask
Sounds good.
people what was Singer doing with the hybrid. How'd it
Yeah,
look? Okay.
yeah, you got to. Sounds
All
good.
right, man. Well, buddy, it's great that you're getting healthy. We're excited to get you back on the ice. You've had, like we said, a really great year. We're excited for you to get drafted. I think you're gonna. And best of luck as the playoffs are right around the corner here, man. It's unbelievable. We're in the middle of March and the playoffs are here. So thanks so much for doing this, Rylan. It's been a pleasure.
For sure. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, everybody, remember you can find this show on the team website, YouTube, all your favorite podcast apps. Look for it on the team's social channels. And remember, if you want to come down, there's not many regular season games left. There's only 3 left as we record this. You want to come down and watch Rylan Singh and the Guelph Storm as they head toward the playoffs. You can get tickets at the Sleeman Center box office and, of course, the Guelph Storm website. We'll be back next week with more Eye of the Storm.